friends, what's happening? Welcome back to Kyle's Film Garage. Just taking a little walk on the boulevard today. We are on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I'm just gonna go see what there is to see. It is an absolutely gorgeous day. It hasn't been like this for a little while, and so just outside enjoying the day. So by the way, hey, before we get into this, please click like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and that will help with everything that we're doing here in independent film. So I'm gonna do that right now. Just let me know when you're done clicking like and subscribing to the channel. So I'll wait here for a moment. We are at Hollywood and Sycamore, just so you know. This is like probably one of the it's a very popular area. Right in front of me or behind you is Highland, and so between Sycamore and Highland is Madame Tussauds and the Chinese Theater, and all of these kind of cool little shops will be littered in between those things. So where are we? So we're just gonna talk for a minute. So I was just on the phone with Hilton Ruiz, the director, writer of Zombie with a Shotgun, and we were talking about like how to get Zombie with a Shotgun 2 done, and the difference between being able to raise money for films now and a few years ago when Zombie with a Shotgun was made. And basically it seems to be a lot more difficult to raise money for films for whatever reason, and I think that the times are different. Seems to be a little crazier people. I think this last 3 years of the situation has changed people's brains a little bit. By the way, we are right by the Roosevelt, so that's pretty cool. Let's go take a peek. 7000 Hollywood Boulevard, the Roosevelt. This is where they had the first Academy Awards. The first Academy Awards, right here at the Roosevelt Hotel. That's pretty cool. That is Madame Tussauds Wax Museum right there, and right here you have the Man's Theater over there, where they have all the like the handprints and whatnot, and the signatures in the concrete. This is going to be right over there. All right, so standing right by the Roosevelt Hotel. In the background behind me is the Man's Chinese Theater, where all of the signatures are and whatnot, and the handprints in the concrete. And it's just a weird situation where you're like working in independent film and being in Hollywood and having all of the, you know, huge money, you know, the Netflix and, you know, all that kind of stuff, and you have independent creators like myself and like Hilton, and how it is a grind to be able to make films. So it's like the creators that are actually kind of doing it, you know, that are making movies, and if you see like a filmmaker that's like putting out something, then it takes a lot of effort, whether it's like, you know, crowdfunding, or if they're gonna, you know, put their own money, or they have family money or whatever to make a movie. It is no small task, and so when, you know, you see an Indiegogo, or, you know, it's a fundraiser, and if you have a couple bucks, then it really helps. Basically, it helps independent film to stay alive. And right now, speaking for myself, we're doing Preacher 6 is in post-production. It's been through some stuff over the last 3 years, and I went through long haul COVID symptoms, and basically wasn't able to do anything for a minute, like, you know, besides survive kind of thing. Better now, which is great. And so right now, like, I'm picking up that torch again, you know, to get Preacher 6 finished. So on that note, if you could please join the Patreon for $3 to help track what we're doing on that film and to help get it made. It's like, it's really a thing. So if you're on Patreon and have $3, it would be much appreciated to help join that and help us finish the project. So I would much appreciate the support of independent film, because that is what independent film is. It's independent. So no big money, you know, no Hollywood backers, all that kind of stuff. So I would appreciate your support. By the way, you can also grab a t-shirt if you want. There's a link for this. So I wear this all the time, so people know that I love indie film. But yeah, so back to Hilton. The way that we first did Zombie with a Shotgun, you know what, we're just gonna walk and talk. I'm gonna leave the boulevard, and we'll do another boulevard some other time. But so let's walk and talk, shall we? So, Zombie with a Shotgun. I'm gonna do a whole video about that in specific, but I can tell you the gist of it. So, back in the day, I had just done The Chair, and I saw Hilton with Zombie with a Shotgun, and he had like a pretty big social media following on Twitter, and I had a pretty good following on Twitter as well. So I was like, hey, what are you doing, with this? What are you doing with this movie? And he said, I don't know, man, I'm talking to some investors and whatnot, and they want to put in like, 200 grand or something like that. And we keep like, going to lunch and dinner and, all that kind of stuff, but they're not writing a check. So, which is weird, because a lot of people like to do that. They investors like to they like to play investor, so we'll go to nice restaurants and whatnot and talk about stuff, and then it doesn't. And I have experience with this on a film myself, but I won't talk about that one. But they basically like to dress up and talk about movies and all that kind of stuff, but they never really do it. So, and that was kind of the case with Zombie with a Shotgun. So I said, well, listen, let's just do it. It's like, between what you can do with your followers and what I can do, like, let's make a movie, and he was like, you know what? Yeah, let's make a movie. So we like basically dropped everything that we were doing and went straight on into a Kickstarter. And neither of us had done Kickstarter before, and it's like Kickstarter is all or nothing. So it's like, so you can spend 2 months in a campaign, and if you don't raise all the money for your project, then it doesn't get funded. So it's like an all or nothing thing. So we started the Kickstarter campaign, and it was doing okay. It was like, I don't know, it got like 25% of the way, and not like about halfway. I think we had done it for like 3 weeks, and it was like 25% of the budget was met, but that wasn't like the trajectory of where it was not where we needed it to be for it to look like, okay, this looks good, and we're going to be able to to make the budget, and we won't have wasted 2 months of our life, knowing that we're going to make this movie no matter what. So we just stopped the Kickstarter. So that Kickstarter got canceled and went to Indiegogo, because Indiegogo is something that you can do. It's like you keep it. So it's like the investors, they're the people that put in money, it's like you get to keep that. So it's like, well, let's just do that, and then it's like, if we need to launch more campaigns, we'll launch more campaigns. And so that's what we ended up doing. We went to Indiegogo with Zombie with a Shotgun, and I think we did like 2 of those, 3 of those, and then GoFundMe. And it was just like, we're gonna make this movie kind of, no matter what. And I just talked to him, and I was just like, to be able to say that you have a film out is it's big. It's really big. It's not easy to do. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to tell you why you can't do things and why you shouldn't do things a certain way and all of that. And you just gotta you gotta put everybody out of your head. You can't let the people that aren't doing it tell you how to do it. So, because it's a lot of work to make a film happen. So yeah, so basically, where are we, Kyle? So this is, by the way, this is the high school for performing arts here in Hollywood. Super cool mural. I love this thing. So, hello. And yeah, so basically there's been a lot of actors and, you know, creators have come from this school as well. But so as we're visiting this, in the background of the Liberal Household and Arts building. So after having said, you know, to Hilton, like, let's do it, we launched these campaigns and it was successful, and we you know, raised the money, and I flew out there to Manhattan, and Hilton had these locations that he could shoot in, which was great. If you haven't seen Zombie with a Shotgun, it's a little art house film. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, but that's beside the point. I hope you do love it, but if you hate it, then you can hate it too, just because it's an art house piece. So it's kind of like it's not what you would really expect. It's kind of dreamy, and there's some animation in it, and it's just it's kind of trippy. So go check it out if you haven't. It's on Amazon, it's on Tubi. I play Hank Ray in that, which is a bounty hunter, chasing after the guy with the, you know, that has the zombie, the origins of the zombie virus kind of thing. So we made Zombie with a Shotgun, shot it. Took like, I think 3 years from the shooting to the time that it came out, and that is kind of typical, you know, for an independent film that's independent. You know, it's like if you don't have a studio and you got to do all the post-production and stuff like that, you know, with hires or doing it yourself or whatever, then things are going to take time. So, but it's out, and I'm super proud of Hilton, and you know, we're kind of in the same place with Zombie 2. You know, it's like people wanting to, all right, here's our $1 million idea, you know, and you can raise that money, and I'm like, and so I asked him, I said, so is the person that's saying that you can raise that money, have they ever raised any money for a film? And he said no. And I was like, well, they don't know what they're talking about. You know, it's like it's like until you have, like, you know, tried to raise money to make a movie, you know, you can't just like wave your hand and say, oh, well, you can just, you know, it's the people who say, well, you can just, who've never done it, who don't know what you can just means. So yeah, so basically we're kind of like in the same place going, okay, well, we're gonna make this happen. We're gonna make Zombie with Shotgun happen. Zombie with Shotgun 2 is gonna happen. So don't know exactly, you know, what we got to do to make that happen yet, but I do know that it's gonna happen. So just like Creature 6 is gonna get finished, because Kyle Hester, that's me, he's back on the case, and so calling all indie film champions, please join the Patreon for $3 or more and be a part of the magic, be a part of helping to keep independent film alive, and I appreciate you. And so yeah, so hang on. So I know I was gonna do a Hollywood walking tour of the, you know, the boulevard and stars and all that kind of stuff, and this did take a turn. It took a turn. We did other things. We started talking about indie film, and, you know, so that's just what happened. And I do thank you so much for joining me on this. And yeah, so basically the next 3 months are going to be a lot of Creature 6 and finishing up the editing and working on the VFX with Mike Bybee, and seeing what we got to do for insert shots and all that kind of stuff, and got to probably do some green screen stunt work, because there's a lot of like demon versus Preacher 6 fighting that has to happen, and the crew of all the actors in there. So yeah, so there's a lot that has to get done, and so I'm gonna be nose to the grindstone on that. I will be making videos like this, you know, every once in a while here and there and whatnot, and probably also videos of what's going on and the making of, you know, Preacher 6 and kind of like some, without giving anything away. I'm not going to give plot points or stuff like that, but you know, I might give you a little inside baseball on the process. So yeah, so that's next. By the way, have you clicked like on this yet, or subscribed to the channel, or joined the Patreon? I know I'm harping on that because it's kind of super important. So hey, thanks for joining me, and I will see you on the next video.